Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Well, hey, you're here. You've made it. Hoorah! And where is here, you may ask? This is, of course, the MindGriller Server. And I'm Gravity. And this is Cow. And where are we on the MindGriller Server, you may also ask? Also a good question. We are here. But not for long. The most retentive viewers of this channel who have seen our last spine tingling? Now, just perhaps not merely spines. Episode will know why we are going to Houdini our way out of this Chinese water torture cell underwater cabin Dua Peep style. And no, I am not being insensitive. Well, cancel me if you must. Just don't dox me or sign me up for free Postmates delivery. No, and nay. I was, of course, referring to Houdini's infamous escape for what he called a Chinese water torture cell. It may be duly noted, due to the passing of time, that perhaps he was equally a publicity stuntman, a world-famous escape artiste, and, to today's eyes, a moderately insensitive copy editor. Hey-ho, I was reminded by myself, since I just thought of it, the very Harry Houdini of whom we speak was, in fact, Eric Weiss, who adopted his stage name Harry Houdini in a tricky name sleight of hand referencing the French magician Jean-Eugène Robert Houdin, without the trailing I, mind you. No. If I may digress for just a moment to teleport in our minds to a date in the year of our Lord 1904, a newspaper called the Daily Mirror conducted a stunt challenge to Houdini to escape a pair of special handcuffs in front of a live audience, in the Hippodrome no less. Why were the handcuffs special, you may ask? Well, they were custom-made solid steel and claimed to be impossible to pick. Now, in the Hippodrome, Houdini, in said handcuffs, was on stage obscured from view of the paying audience in a small curtain cabinet. His escape attempt lasted over an hour, with Houdini emerging several times, once to ask for the cuffs to be removed so he could take off his coat, to which was replied, "No dice, Vice." So, using a penknife held in his teeth, and here I kid you not, Houdini dramatically cut off his coat in front of the audience and returned behind the cabinet curtains. After 70 minutes, he, said Houdini of whom we speak, emerged free from the cuffs, to wild applause and celebration from the baffled crowd. Was it a stunt? Was it a scam? Did his wife Bessie slip him a key, or something else, with which to pick the handcuff lock when she kissed him in a, shall we say, mouthing the alphabet sort of smooch? Now, as with all magicians, and evidently their wives, who's to say? Like a certain 3-day performative celebrity betrothal I am just now reminded of. No. Speaking of sleight of hand and cabinets, Cow and I watched a few videos on the topic of the Copper Golem by, let me see, Wobbles, Camman 18, Phoenix XC, Captain Sparkles 2, evidence that the S and Z keys are in fact nearer for some than others, Exhibavoid, and Vivily. We have no idea. We can't vouch for them. Therefore, hitherto and under Sabova, we will not delve into such overcrowded content creator pools of waiting water, but it would be relevant at this moment to propose that, with a vibrant interrobang visuals turned on, in that other unmentionable form of Minecraft, mind you, said Copper Golem and associated chests appear quite void of dimension. The first glimpse we collectively saw of said golem via an illustration used to promote the mob vote during Minecraft Live 2021. The facial features were dark, dense, if you will. There was an air of cuteness and distance, which accurately paralleled the spirit and demeanor of the Iron Golem. Cow started to get the hiccups when said videos, of which we are currently speaking, showed the Copper Golem in its current form. In particular, Cow is spooked by how the lifeless eyes have changed to resemble lit copper bulbs, and ocular panels have also been inexplicably embiggened. Now, perhaps it could be said, by less than kind but nonetheless clever individuals, mind you, that the current revisions have made the golem more, it could be said, and not only because I'm about to say it, plushy friendly. I will concede that it could be imagined that this is not the case. Would I suggest that said undesirable, problematic, and conflicting motivation was the root of Mojang's said motivation? I would never. And who doesn't love a tie-in? Anywho, and then Cow evidently had enough, and then he quickly closed those videos and opened a different, hopefully less hiccup-inducing music video. Cow loves music videos because he loves the 1990s, and I love pink. And I will share with you, plural, that Cow pointed out to me that the singer for, a music group, with a name I cannot say in this channel, no, and nay, but I will put it in chat. Said group is led by a singer, and surprising to both Cow and I, his beard, who is evidently named Greg Gonzalez, and by that I refer to he and not his beard, who I am told is also the founder, lead vocalist, guitarist, primary songwriter for said music ensemble. Well now, Cow and I had no idea. We were surprised, I tell you. Well now, perhaps this not completely random recount, such that it is an apt reference to a sentiment we are within the current iteration of the aforementioned Copper Golem. After all, there's no magic without mystery. No. Which represents a first for this channel, and that is the acknowledgement of the very existence of something called the Chronicles of Narnia, which Cow and I expect not to mention again. Speaking of not mentioning again, which again I just was, this episode is sponsored by the kind people at Reeve's Cookie Cutter Clumps. Reeve's Cookie Cutter Clumps, all the woody texture of a pine cone, but without the resin aftertaste. Well now the magic keeps coming. The most attentive viewers of this channel, and that means both of you, will have grasped the subtle metaphor used for biting into a pine cone as a foil for the bitter consequences of temptation and disobedience depicted in the Chronicles of Narnia. I said it again. Cow, do you feel a bit woozy? I do. Now, speaking of worlds of fantasy, which are in fact stand-ins for dark mirrors of the present, Cow showed me just this morning, shall we say, interesting, a gray page with words on it, the color of which is of course hex 4A525A, followed in the CSS file by the now infamous comment, dark blue slate thing, which recounted a story about a court filing wherein lawyers for a certain someone who might be, just might mind you, fixated upon the 24th letter of the alphabet. Wink wink, nudge nudge, and xylophone. Said lawyers claimed beyond all credulity that their client, said letter fixator, again, hint hint, of whom I was just speaking, does not use a computer. Okay. Now, since there is an ongoing suit between OpenAI and maybe someone named Sam Altman, and perhaps even the lawyer's client, but maybe not, you can't go by me. And since parties to said magical legal action want to see what this guy has been up to on his computer, which they are purporting does not exist, even though public evidence suggests that he owns and appears to use at least one computer. But, unbelievably, also a computer he has in fact mentioned multiple times in recent months. For example, in December of the year of our Lord 2024, the personage of whom we speak posted a picture of a laptop on X with a caption that begins, quote, "This is a pic of my laptop." This said guy has also streamed Diablo, the game, mind you, not the other thing, more than 10 times since August 2024, wherein he streamed from what appeared to be the desktop version of the game. Now. I imagine you, the gentlest of viewers of this channel, and that means both of you, will already know where this is heading. So, I will skip to the final sentence of the final paragraph, which Cow pointed out whilst pointing to, with his suspiciously clean hoof, mind you, quote, "It's almost enough to make you think that maybe Elon is not a straight shooter." That reminds me, did we ever find out what? Here I am referring to that photo of Sam Bankman-Fried's desk was sitting on said desk just below that bank of monitors. Now I am re-envisioning internet sleuths. Now perhaps I am beginning to remember after all. Why am I thinking of that at this very moment? I might be prone to ask if I didn't know better. But who's to say? Now, Cow, I am getting a mysterious fourth sense that it is almost as though you do not want to go inside this hilltop cabin. I am getting a distinct waft of non-compliance coming from your very brown and rawhide bedecked personage, I will just say. But I will protest this just this once, since I would like to sleep the night away. Any moment now, this place will be crawling with creepers. Now, the most faithful viewers of this channel will know that we do not normally sleep the nights away. No, and nay, nay. Only upon rare occasions of imminent danger, or just because we feel like it. I wonder if this place has any old villagers in it. Cow, I'm looking at you. Now I'm also looking. This looks like a gas cast. What is a gas cast and not a happy gas doing in the overworld? Now, perhaps something else is afoot. Cow, what has gotten into you? You seem a bit more aggressive than your normal placid yet furry self. No, just a minute. I have to keep an eye out for observers pointed at beds and other sundry traps. Because if it's one thing the MindGriller Server has enough of, it's bed traps. Okay, now, Cow, if I may say, I look forward to seeing you in the morning. Sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite. Do you ever have dreams you can't remember? I have them all the time. Even when I was young, I didn't remember my dreams, including whatever that was. Speaking of which, where could Cow be? Of which I am uncertain, but I do know someone smart we can ask. I thought I was sleeping, and then suddenly I wasn't. What was that? /AIGF.
That was either a brain glitch, a mind hiccup, a sleep malfunction, a mental blooper, a dream oopsie, or a memory mix-up.
Good to know. Now, perhaps that response contained what could be considered the paltry air of WebMD. Speaking of which, I'm beginning to wonder where could Cow be? I hope he has not wandered. Look, now he appears to be once again sleepwalking. Now, I have been told by reliable sources, which means not WebMD, mind you, that it is quite dangerous, impolite, and discourteous to wake someone who is, enjoying a leisurely saunter while sleeping. Now, I wonder if this location is in fact a randomly chosen one for Cow to sleepwalk to. It seems a bit spooky to me, and now that I think of it, since I just did, in the rarefied case that you plural have wondered, I have not forgotten about what the builders of this location must have known before they placed that gas in the attic of the cabin. No, and nay. Perhaps in this instance, there's also shall we say a hint. Something less than a leak, but more than a dribble. Well, hey now, Cow, you seem to be waking up. Be careful that you don't get startled. You might go who's first into this enormous pit/crater/sinkhole, and no one wants that. No. With that being said, and sadly due to Cow's bone-chilling separation anxiety, it is in fact time for us to say our goodbyes. Goodbye, so long. Happy trails. Hint, hint. Hasta la vista.